All right. So I take it at this point, the music is probably playing in my head. Ooh, okay. I just remembered what song I'm using for the intro, so I'm thinking of it right now. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of the Brick by Brick podcast. This is going to be a podcast where we are centered around the fan base of Optic Gaming, the Green Wall, and every episode will be featuring a different member of the Green Wall, or the Bricks, if you will. So brick by brick, we'll be talking to them individually. First, we have our initial guest, the pilot guest here, Christian. You might know him as TheMondo over on Twitter. You might recognize this picture of him where he is standing in front of both the original 6050 Russell Drive Optic House and the Scuff House with the legendary Optic flag, which you can kind of see in the background of his camera up there above the bed. Christian, you want to say what's up? Introduce yourself a little bit.
How y'all doing? Man, thank you for having me on the show. So to let you guys know, I have no idea what the show is about. I had no idea what the context, pretext was about any of this. I came in here blind, so when he was saying like it's going to be about the Green Wall, and like fans on that, I was hyped, so I'm ready to go. Man, thank you for having me on. It's an honor, and I really appreciate being your very first guest.
Dude,
thank you very much.
I appreciate having you on here. You're obviously a big Optic fan, and that kind of leads us to obviously you've listened to the Eavesdrop, and Hex, at least for the first good chunk of episodes, started every episode off with, "Who are you today?" right, as this question. So I thought I should have my own version of that question. And that is, what does Optic and the Green Wall mean to you? As a fan, right. as a fan of Optic, as a member of the Green Wall, what does Optic and the Green Wall mean to you?
Man, what is it? I mean, like, it means everything, Like, because in reality, Optic has always been like my home away from home, Like,
Facts.
it's like it's the escape I go to, to get away from like the real world, Like when I was a child growing up, I mean, you could probably relate to it too, You came from school. What was one of the first things you did? You either played COD or you got on YouTube and watched a new COD video from Optic,
Yep.
From Scout, Nate Shot, whatever. You did something related to COD. Anyway, and I've just grown up with these guys, and actually I've met most of the friends I have today in my life currently. I've met through events, through the mutual. I kind of suck at talking. Through the mutual
fan base, the esports,
yeah.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
Exactly,
I know what you're trying to say, and I'm sure the people listening or watching can also agree. Obviously, the Green Wall is a big it's a big deal,
and it means everything, And plus, it's like they care about their fans,
Yes.
Like when I can guarantee you, for the people who regularly go to events, Hector probably knows your name, because it blew my mind because I went to an event one time, thinking like it's because it's as soon as I've been to events, it still blows my mind whenever I see him. Yeah, and I always still think like, oh man, they're not gonna remember me, whatever. They might like recognize me, but they're not gonna remember exactly. The very first time, I got recognized, like Hector just being like, "Oh, what's up, Mondo?" Like you gotta play it cool, but in your head you're like, "Yo,
yeah." See, I haven't had that moment yet. I've been to 3 events, and we'll talk about events and what you've gone to and stuff. But there was a 7-year gap between my first event and attending my second event. And then I attended my third event like right after the second one.
The gap between my first and second one was probably about a year.
6 years, not 7.
It was Anaheim 2018 and then Anaheim 2019.
Gotcha. See, so Anaheim was also my first event. I guess we can just talk about that now. It's one of my questions is I have them written down here. I haven't memorized everything, but I wrote these questions down like, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. I actually have footage, my own X-Files, as I was telling you before we kicked this off, that I'm working on developing my own X-Files. When I thought of this idea, one, I use Evernote for 99% of my notes and stuff. This was a pen and paper. Like, it was early, it was like 6 or 7 in the morning. I don't even know what the hell I was doing up. but the idea popped in my head. The name, the concept, like all of it, like came flooding in at once. And I was like, I got to write this down. I was like, I got to put the camera on and I need to capture this moment of me coming up with this concept and writing it down.
So you captured yourself coming up with everything?
Yeah, kind of.
Dude, that's
like, so the footage, I could actually throw it on here. For anyone watching, I'll just roll it. Hey, good morning, guys. Today is November 30th. It's about 9:12 in the morning right now, and I just got a huge idea, so decided to flip on the camera, document it. I put it down on paper for the first time this morning, so this is kind of me documenting what I think is maybe my greatest content idea ever, and I hope that this footage is seen in 5 years or something. That's literally what this is. Like, right before I wrote it down, I was like, you know what, I need to get this on camera because this might be, again, the greatest content idea that I've had, at least in a long time. And it's for a podcast. If you guys are watching this, hopefully it's in a few years and you guys already know what this is and it's done as well as I think it can do. I'll check in every once in a while and update the progress of this. But again, this is just documentation. First time I wrote it down on paper, and now I'm going to go through and write down all the different ideas that have been popping off over the last 10 minutes since I've come up with this idea. So, see you guys whenever this goes out. So right there, you guys saw the actual moment of me speaking it into the camera. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera. Speaking it into the camera for the first time, and also writing down the notes here. So yeah, I made sure to capture that on camera because I wanted that moment. I wanted to be able to do what I just did, which is to actually show footage of that concept happening. Anyways, where were we? Events. It's on here, second page. Have you ever been to an MLG, CWO, CDL event? What was your first event you went to? And then what was the most recent event that you went to?
So yes, I have definitely been to CWL MLG events. I have been to many. The very first one would be, I think, Anaheim 2018 that I just said. And my most recent one would be, I think, COD Champs 2019.
2019 was the
yeah.
last champs?
Yeah, COD Champs. Yeah, the last champs before, like, the league.
Bro, how have we not met?
We probably have. I mean, maybe.
I feel like I definitely recognize you. I feel like I have you on camera.
You'd be surprised how many people
actually
I've met and then be like, I don't remember. Like, I remember who they are once I see them.
So I don't think we've ever like formally met, but this is the so my first event was MLG Anaheim 2013.
Way back.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that. I have a question on here regarding when you first kind of started watching Optic, and we can answer that after this CDL chat. So yeah, my first event was MLG Anaheim 2013. I was super into COD at the time. This was during Black Ops 2. Big T, Merc, Scump, Nadeshot as the roster. This is right after Champs, right after Complexity knocked Farico Impact off of their 4 tournament streak. We're throwing it way back. So I go down there. I had a little team. We didn't compete, but like we had been grinding league play and some game battles and stuff. And my buddy was a year ahead of me. He was graduating, and like that was his graduation present. And then he brought me along with him. So shout out Colby. If you ever watch this or see this, thank you, Colby Will, for bringing me to my first event. Met Nadeshot, met Hex for the first time. But I did not return because of... Looking back, no reason at all. It was just like, it's hard to get the time off work. It's obviously kind of expensive. Like it's an 8.5 hour drive. Granted, driving is a lot cheaper than flying most of the time. Hotels and stuff. Luckily, I have an aunt that lives like 15 minutes away from the Anaheim Convention Center. But like, I don't know. It was just like scheduling everything and like paying for it. Like I just didn't return until Anaheim 2019. And part of me likes that I went on this 6-year gap because I literally got to walk back in to the same conventions at the same exact venue, but like it had scaled up so much from 2013. Like 2013 League of Legends was the big event that took up the main stage. StarCraft was like a little side station, and Call of Duty was kind of mid-size. And then by CWL Anaheim 2019, it's like there were no other games there. It was all Call of Duty. So you were there.
I was there.
But the Anaheim, I probably saw you but didn't meet you. My most recent event I've been to was CWL Champs 2019, which obviously you were there as well. That was Tony's first event.
2 events we've been at.
So we've been to 2 events. Now, you may have recognized me as the guy with the iPhone gimbal. So you know how when you're down on the floor, right? You have the camera guys, you got Roger and all them, right? Let me I'll pull up some footage real quick.
Yeah, the only way I ever remember this stuff is like if you pull up footage from the event, because like I have to visually see it to remember.
Let me find my CWL Champs album. There it is. Oh, dude, walking into Anaheim, by the way,
the whole champion
with all the flags and stuff.
At the very end.
Yeah, it's like the cover photo for the album. Okay, CWL Champs. Oh, you know what? You're not going to be able to see my gimbal because I'm fucking holding it. Oh man, I don't know. There was a moment where people kind of, by like day 2 of Champs, people started recognizing me as like the camera guy with the really ghetto camera setup. Because like everyone's got like basically, you know, something like this, right? I didn't have a camera at the time. My camera was my iPhone 7 Plus on a smartphone gimbal with a microphone attached to it.
I mean, hey, whatever.
But it looked super unique, and it got the job done. And people are like, "Oh, dude, like it's the fucking guy with the weird shit."
I mean, Hector's done with the iPhones before. I think he still does it every now and then when he has nothing else to use. He just pulls out his phone. Like, I left my camera at home real quick. And
to be fair, phone cameras are really really good.
Nowadays
I upgraded to the 12 Pro Max just to have it as the basically like the emergency pocket camera. So, okay, so we've talked about events. Have you been to a CDL event?
No, not like an official CDL event. I mean, I went.
You went to the
Huntsman NBA All Star event, But I mean, like,
that's right.
I wouldn't say it's CDL, But
yeah, but you've been to a new. I mean, the production team is different and everything, like. So you've experienced something that was like non-CWL related. Have you ever been to an MLG event?
Uh,
Or no, because CWL 2018 was your first event.
yeah, I've been to other events that aren't COD, and I'm just trying to think if those were, but those were ESL. Never mind.
See,
Because like Halo switched back to MLG, and I was trying to. I've been to Halo events, so I was like, have I been?
I've
to
only
an
been
MLG?
to the 3 events.
But I think all the events I've been to were all like CWL.
CWO had very similar vibes to MLG, honestly. Like, really similar. Production value obviously had gone up.
Well,
but
I mean, if we're being honest, it was technically the same thing. It was always
Yeah.
CWL presented by MLG.
Yeah, that's
Presented
true.
by MLG.
Yeah.
It
So
just wasn't
it was
called
about the
MLG.
same.
Yeah.
Bro, 2013. So at the time, in 2013, they were sponsored by Flips Pretzels, like the chocolate covered pretzels, and they had straight like what would be like UFC, like, you know, the chicks that hold up like the number, the round number, or whatever. I don't follow fighting at all, so like I don't know the actual name for that.
Dude, will they have chicks hold up the round numbers and stuff?
No, but they had chicks basically like, you know, like these like model chicks, right? Walking around just throwing Flips Pretzels at people. Like, like they were in like little tiny skirts, like fucking cheerleader outfits. Like, it's weird to think like how, like, I don't want to say it's not professional, because obviously like every traditional sport has cheerleaders, but like that compared to CWL, it was a trip. They had like a Dr. Pepper booth. They were still, MLG was still sponsored by Dr. Pepper at the time. So free Dr. Pepper and free Flips all weekend long. That was dope.
Dude, see, it's crazy because I don't know any of this stuff because we haven't talked about it yet. But like at this point, what you're talking about, I wasn't into like Call of Duty or
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So let's talk about that. So when did you first start watching? We'll make this like a 2-part question. When did you first start watching and getting really into Call of Duty? And when did you first play Call of Duty? When did you first really start to get into it? And when do you first remember like watching Optic?
Okay, so there's like a lot of different parts to these questions because I got a lot of different
answers.
So when I very first started playing Call of Duty, man, it probably was like World at War, you know, Modern Warfare. But this is not when I seriously started playing. This is when I just barely picked it up just because it was a game, whatever. I played it. I played custom games with like my friend that came over, and we didn't know how to play it, whatever, you know.
For sure.
And then we played those 2 games, and then I didn't play Call of Duty for a couple years afterwards, whatever, you know. And then fast forward 2012, 2013, whenever Black Ops 2 came out. I'm not very good with the years.
Released in 2012, was played throughout the year of 2013.
Thank you.
It's like my specialty.
Because like in elementary school, you know, Call of Duty was like the talk of the town, you know. And I was kind of like the one person who kind of didn't know.
Because you're 19, right? 20?
20.
20.
Newly 20. Yeah.
Recent? Okay, yeah.
And like I had no idea what Call of Duty was, you know. So I started researching myself because like obviously like I don't want to be like the loser
left behind, like
I don't want to be left behind. Like yo, like
what's this? Dude, I have a really similar story actually. Keep going though. Keep going. Okay. I'll mention mine afterwards.
And then and then so I started researching it. And like I saw the trailer, and like it was like a live action trailer. You know, had nothing to do with the game. You know, it was just the trailer.
Dude, back when they like brought in the live actors and stuff, like, oh man, good times.
I saw that. I was like, oh my god, this game looks so cool. Like I see what everyone like the hype is about, and like it wasn't the game at all, but the game still ended up being amazing. You know?
Yeah. So, and what game was this? Was Black Ops 2, right? Black Ops 2 had a really good live action trailer. Like that's still like a top 3.
Oh yeah. And I think it's probably like my favorite commercial because it's engraved in my mind, you know.
See,
like that's what originally made me want to get called in.
So what's your favorite Call of Duty game of all time?
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2. Yeah. Okay, I figured. Usually, like the first one that you like for me, it's Modern Warfare 2. Like I just you
got to remember, would that be my first one? Ghost came after that, and now we look back, Ghost was pretty good.
But at the time, Ghost was shit.
Yeah.
And Ghost Search was really good at the time. I did like Ghost Search. But overall, the game was like, I did not like it.
Oh, yeah.
Now I look back, I'm like, that's like almost like a S tier COD.
But if we're being honest, though, I mean, at least for me, I only think it was a good COD because of the amount of more shit CODs that came afterwards. That were like, how can
I
it get
don't
worse?
disagree. Like you're not like you're definitely correct from a certain perspective. I think, yeah, no, that's a good way because like we were taking it for granted.
I mean, I think World War II, Modern Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 4 are all worse than Ghost, in my opinion.
I mostly agree. I think the one.
Black Ops 4 I can make an argument for, but the other three.
I mean, Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare, and IW. Like, I don't think any of those are bad. I would put Black Ops 4 at the bottom of those. I'd put Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare tied for different reasons.
I think we all agree on Modern Warfare.
I think Modern Warfare with normal spawns, take squad spawns out, put in normal spawns. I think Modern Warfare is a pretty good game. I think squad spawns single-handedly tanks that game. It takes it from like a 7 to a 3. Black Ops 4, same thing. Black Ops 4, I think that 150 health plus stim shot tank that game. You take stim shot out of Black Ops 4, I think it's a 10 times better game. I fucking hate stim shot. It ruins gunfights, and it doesn't punish people for playing stupid. If you peek and you get tagged up because homeboy's aiming down sights with, like, if you got Octane level or form, like any of the really top tier ARs, which I'm not a top tier AR, but I'm a primary AR player. And look, if I'm ADS and you peek, I'm tapping you. And with stim shot, that's no longer like punishing. Like you peek, you get tapped, you just stim shot up and you keep going.
Come back.
Yeah, like you're not punished for peeking when you shouldn't have peeked. So I don't know, it fucks with the whole dynamic.
Yeah, I agree. Plus it's like, I thought the whole point of COD was for it to be realistic,
Yeah. And just juice up and call it a day.
Are you telling me that there's people out there getting shot and just injecting the needle and like they're fine in 2 seconds?
Right. So I hate stim shot. I hate that it. And to be fair, I switched my opinions when they first announced stim shot. I liked the concept. I actually really did.
What did you think of like operators and all that?
Like specialists and like abilities and stuff? I don't know. I think there's it's not bad. How do I feel? But there's also a difference between pubs and comp. Like the way that like specialists in pubs, sure, whatever. In comp,
let me ask you.
I think I overall don't like them in comp.
Like in past years, we've seen like a lot of stuff, like the pick ban system, specialist, and obviously the jetpack era, like for just from a viewer standpoint, would you like to see like all that stuff?
So from a viewer standpoint, I think a lot of that stuff is better. Like jetpacks are good for viewership. It keeps things really busy.
Or would you rather just see straight up gunfight? Like that's it. Like straight up skill gunfight, that's it.
I think it depends on the viewer base. Your more competitive viewers that are more serious about it and more raw would rather just see gunfights and strictly skill. Not to say that like jetpacks and specialists don't take skill. But I think they make it a little easier almost.
I just think those take different type of skill.
Like
with those being added, and your gun skill kind of doesn't matter as much.
Because you can have really, really good movement and above average gun skill, but not S tier gun skill. But your movement could carry you a long way. But at the same time, I think that adding more dynamics like that decreases the longevity that you can play a game. You're right. You start seeing older players perform not as good because they just can't keep up with the 18-year-old cracked out jetpacker.
And their eyes can't move.
Yeah, like your reaction, like everything's just kind of slowing down. You're getting older, as much as I hate to say it. Again, I think viewer base, I think that you're more casual viewers and the people that are maybe just starting to roll out of pubs and into comp, I think it's better for them to have more stuff from the raw game, jetpacks and specialists and stuff, and things that are more familiar and just like fun.
Mhm.
But I think like for me, I don't like it as much. But when I view COD, it's like, but I also come from a different era of viewing COD esports. Like I started watching COD esports at the end of Modern Warfare 3.
See, it's weird because it's like I'm a viewer, you know, but I also play a lot of ranked and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's just like I wouldn't say like I'm a player, you know, but
Yeah.
I do play the game, you know. So it's like it's fun to watch, but
It's
when you
frustrating to
play it,
play.
it's frustrating to
Yeah.
play, you know.
And
it's
I do, I'm kind of the same way. I'm a viewer, but I do like to play ranked play. But I also go back and forth a lot when it comes to how I play Call of Duty, and we'll talk about that in a follow-up question because I want to get your perspective as well. But real quick, let's throw it back. What were we talking about before we branched off a little bit? We were talking about so you first played COD in World at War, COD 4, but not really. And you really got into it around Black Ops 2. Started doing your own research and everything. When did you first watch Optic?
So when I first watched Optic,
That you can recall. Obviously, like your memory is not going to be perfect.
man, I mean, like, okay, obviously I saw their logo everywhere during the Black Ops 2 era. That was a very popular emblem.
That was a big time of growth too.
Yeah, but I didn't really exactly know what it meant. Like I always just heard the term Optic Gaming, you know, but like at that point, like then rolling around Ghost, you know.
Okay.
COD Champs, you know, this is back when like the stuff would pop up on like your dashboard of like, your Xbox.
Yeah, they were starting to promote it a little bit more.
I was on like my Xbox dashboard one day. I saw like Call of Duty World Championship 2014, you know, and I'm like, this is 2014, so I'm like 13 years old. I'm like, Call of Duty World Championship, like what? Whoa.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it because I'm freaking out, man.
Well, it's like at this point you're pretty into Call of Duty, right? You've played a year of Black Ops 2, probably pretty heavily. You've played a couple months of Ghost because back then Champs was in like at the end of March or whatever.
If I was not at school, I was on Call of Duty.
Yeah, whether you were playing it or watching it in some way, like you were.
Like it was
Call of Duty in some way, shape, or form was taking up all your time outside of school.
Yeah, back then, dude, it was sleep. It was sleep. Yes, mother. Yes, I would love pancakes.
Ooh.
No sausage or bacon. No, bacon is trash. Yeah, I said that for a reason. Very unpopular opinion. Yeah, I do not like bacon.
What?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be not as much of a dick when it comes to people's food preferences. Something I'm working on because I'm very judgmental when it comes to food preferences.
Weird. All right, do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a problem now.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can talk about food. We can talk about food on this podcast. It contrasts. It's flavor contrast, sweet and salty.
Thanks, Mom, for
sweet and savory.
Conversation.
All right, sweet and savory. But is it traditional? Absolutely not. If you're like a hardcore foodie and super into pizza, because like, okay, like when it comes to street tacos, like, and you know, growing up in Southern California, like I have a very like high standard when it comes to like Mexican food and stuff. Like if I'm gonna go eat at a new Mexican place, I'm ordering your carne asada street tacos, and if you don't serve them, I'm not eating there for one. But like that is like my base judgment food. Mm-hmm. If your carne asada street tacos are good, I trust you.
Facts.
But like, what belongs on a street taco? I don't want it doused in salsa and a bunch of other shit. Like, you got onion, cilantro, carne asada, and then maybe an additional topping of cheese or some sort of sauce.
I think the onions, cilantro, and carne, I think those are the just always going to be the main three.
Yeah.
Like, and then
like if
everything else afterwards is like extra, whatever your preference. I think those three things are like the main three. Even though I
if you get the opportunity, if you're ever in the Westminster area of Orange County, go to this address, 14022 Springdale Street.
Well, hold on.
in
Give me a
Westminster,
second.
California. It's a 24/7 taqueria. My
Well,
favorite one
I'll
on the planet. Okay. I've actually switched from their tacos to their burritos. Last time I was there, I got a burrito. Like, their tacos haven't changed, but yeah, fucking burrito was
All right.
that was the heat.
Now I'm gonna recommend you a place.
All right.
There's
All right.
2 locations. They're both pretty much in the same area. If you're ever in Southern California, in the Valley, you know, in the small towns of either Reseda or North Hollywood,
Okay.
there's this
Okay.
little
During Champs, I was in the Reseda area. That's where I was staying.
damn Reseda, nice. There's this little mom and pop Mexican restaurant called Salsa and Beer. There's one in Reseda, one in North Hollywood. Man, the spicy molcajete flatas. Oh my!
That the heat.
Dude, it's
Oh,
so
fuck,
freaking good, man.
my
I've
mouth's
been
kind of
going there.
watering.
I've been going there because I used to live in Reseda.
Okay.
I used to go to Reseda High School, so I've been going there since high school, since like my freshman year of high school. I was like 15. I'm 20 now. I've been going there for almost 5 years.
Bro, I've been going to this taqueria.
I've never gone anything else on that menu besides the spicy molcajete
So
flatas.
the taqueria I mentioned, let's see, I was born in 96. I moved up from Southern California to Northern California in 2004. I've been going to that taqueria literally like my whole life. Like,
do you get the same thing, or do you like?
pretty much get the carne asada tacos or the carne asada burrito and horchata. If you don't, by the way, if you do not serve horchata, get out of here. Leave. Close your business. Like, even if it's the powder mixin, like, which I think as far as a powder mixin goes, it's actually not bad.
I can never tell what is what. Horchata is horchata to me.
Oh, dude, I mean, for the most part, same, but there are a few where I'm like, oh, I could tell this was homemade. If there's little rice chunks in it.
Oh, dude, like some of them.
Bro, if I get the rice chunks in it, oh, it's over. Love it. Kill me now.
Like,
have that be my last meal.
When I get horchata, like I'm looking for that perfect cinnamon taste. Like
There was a place down in Reseda, a little food truck. It was a good horchata, but like it was like 90% cinnamon.
Wait,
like
where?
the drink was brown. I don't know exactly where. I could find out.
Was it next to a grocery store?
I don't remember. They were literally just like walking the streets one night. I got a video of it actually. It's in my vlog, my Champs vlog.
How wild would it be? Because like there's always this taco truck next to this grocery store, and it was like right down the street from my apartment. And my high school would be down the street from that too.
Let's see. This is probably going to. Damn, I need to fix my taskbar.
I can probably still tell you the area you're in if I can recognize it.
I don't think I'm like zoomed out enough. Okay, we're gonna have to hit auto exposure for this, just so it. I mean, this is kind of like their setup. Come on.
I don't know the spot specifically. I mean, if I saw like the surrounding area,
It's literally a van.
van.
It's struggling really hard to focus.
Northridge.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I could probably GPS this thing. The horchata was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good.
Northridge, that's like a bit north of Reseda.
Yeah. Like I said, we were just
exactly.
kind of out roaming the streets at that point. Okay, let's fix the camera lighting. All right. So you first remember watching Optic when it comes to 2014 Call of Duty Ghosts World Championships.
Yeah, so
insert footage of Scumpy in the booth with the $300 original Astro flak jacket. Hector, if you ever end up watching this episode, you guys had an episode a while back on one of your series where they could not remember what the jacket was. It was the Astro flak jacket, my guy. But him, the where he stands up all hyped, freaking the chicken wing, whatever. Yeah. That's from
Oh, I know you're talking
that's
about,
that's from Ghost World Champion.
yeah.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about.
I recently looked it up. I fact checked it to like make sure I was talking about the right event before I referenced it.
Honestly, whatever I do to like find stuff I can't remember, like merch, I just like first off like find where I saw it, screenshot it, go on Google, reverse search images,
reverse, yeah.
and then it will pop up,
That's a
like,
smart way to do it. I just rely on
yeah.
my memory, which
Oh,
does
no.
does all right most of the time.
This is fried.
They don't
Right.
work.
Don't work no more.
So okay, so first event was 2018. Most recent event was Champs 2019. Well, technically the All-Star thing, I guess, was your most recent event.
Yeah,
First played Call of Duty at World at War and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Original 2007, not 2019 Modern Warfare. But you didn't really get into it till Black Ops 2. And the first time you remember watching Optic was World Champs.
yeah, because like they just happened to like.
And you've been along ever since.
Yeah. Well, no. So a little bit more. So
okay, continue.
And I think it was like, I think Optic versus Strictly Business. That might have been. I remember
Strictly Business, bro. I haven't heard that name in a while.
And the only reason why I remember
that a dope logo. That a dope name, actually.
The only reason why I remember them is because that's the other team that popped up when I clicked on it. I just watched it for a minute. And I was like, damn, these guys are good. Like better than me. And like I thought I was like.
And you thought you were like, yeah.
God shit. I was like, damn, like these guys are really good. Like I want to play with these guys, you know?
Yeah.
So then I saw it. I was like, oh, that was cool, you know. Clicked off, you know. And then like over the course of that year, I started into Optics content.
Like the rest of the Ghost season.
Yeah, because my friend was into them, and he started showing me like Nate shot in them. So I started watching like their videos. It started like getting to them like personality wise.
Yeah.
Know? And then it wasn't until COD Champs 2015, you know, kind of the same scenario. It happened to pop up on my dashboard. I'm like, oh, COD Champs again. Let's go, you know.
And and by this time you've been watching, you know, you've been associating yourself with.
Yeah, and I know who Nate Shot and Scump are. You know, I wasn't familiar. I think at the time it was Nate Shot, Crim, Scump, and Formal.
Yeah, I was like that was before the Karma pickup.
I wasn't familiar with Formal or Crim. I mean, I saw Formal in the videos and whatnot, but I was very familiar with Scump and Nate Shot. So
and to be fair, Scump and Nate Shot were the only ones really executing content.
Yeah.
Crim at the time was doing pretty good content, but not to the level of Scump and Nate.
Well, like, you know, like I was watching, you know, I'm like, oh man, like I see these guys on YouTube, you know, like I want these guys to win, you know, and like when they lost, you know, it was obviously like, yeah, at the time, like I didn't really kind of like, I wasn't that passionate about it, you know, I was whatever, you know, like they lost, you know, that's when I started getting into it. Then like I started watching, and then like right after that, you know, Nate Shot like steps away, you know, and by the way, Nate. If you ever see this, you never say you retired. You always said, I'm taking a break. He never, if you go back to that video,
you're not wrong.
Never said he retired.
Guys, I'm taking this moment. I'm going to take a step back and work on some other stuff. He did what he's done throughout his, the course of his Optic journey, which is the flex on and off role.
I mean, I'm just giving him a hard time for it. I don't really care. You know,
but he's not wrong. So LA Thieves, if you're looking for a substitute, just
but the reason
hit up the HBR guy.
Is because I was like also I was more into Scump. I was in Nade Shot too. You know, I was looking forward to like was starting to watch him compete. So I was starting to competitive side, you know. And he's like, oh, I'm taking a break, you know. And like I can understand, you know, he kind of just lost, kind of bad, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was always in the role of like he wasn't performing right because he was doing a lot of dirty work, so he was always getting like that side of it. Like the fans are like, oh, it was Nade Shot's fault, which I heavily disagree with anyone that has that mentality. Appreciate the dirty work, people.
He literally said, I'm not gonna call it like retire. I just call it like he said something specific. I'm just taking a break, you know. And obviously, like his life happened, you know. He then moved out of the Optic House, Los Angeles,
moves to LA, disconnects from Optic, etc., etc. Creates another legendary brand in 100 Thieves.
100, you know, hey man, if we're being honest, and I'm just being serious, the merge game's fire now, but those jail jerseys back then, not it. Just
Wait, which ones?
remember back then in like Black Ops 3, the very first jerseys, it was like the jail ones. Like it looked like
I don't remember the optic ones.
No,
Or
100 Thieves.
the 100 Thieves. I don't remember exactly.
Here.
My favorite 100 Thieves merch thus far, Geography. The Geography hoodie is my favorite piece of all time. And the baseball looking jersey or whatever. Those two have I really like the glitch tee too for like a simple. I think if 100 Thieves ever made an essentials lineup, the glitch tee should be part of it.
That.
Ooh.
That one. Yeah.
To be fair, Black Ops 3 was probably the least engaged I've ever been. I didn't play Black Ops 3 much. I didn't watch.
I was
life was basically just busy at that point, and like internet was garbage. Like it wasn't like a bad part of my life. It was actually really good. But I was that's like the most disconnected I've ever been from Call of Duty and esports was during the Black Ops 3 season.
You want to hear a tragic story for me during the Black Ops 3 era? It's like I've been watching competitive COD for a couple years at this point, you know, in the past like 2 years or something. The past 2 years they have had like the middle summer event in Texas for X Games. So I'm thinking like, oh, they're gonna go back to and at this point, you know, COD didn't announce their events till like 2 or 3 weeks before it happened.
Yeah, they announced really late.
I don't know if people remember that back then. Like they announced events like 2 or 3 weeks before it happened, and so like, you had to be quick on that shit.
Yeah, and that was another reason why it took me so long to go back to Anaheim. Was like, I get my schedule a month in advance, 3 weeks to a month in advance. Like, you know how hard it is to get time off of a schedule that's already been printed.
Exactly. Facts.
So continue. So okay, they're the mid-season event or the midsummer event.
So and this is Black Ops 3. So we've already been to Advanced Warfare, and so they've had X Games 2 years, 2 times prior to this.
Yeah. So you had Ghosts and then Advanced Warfare for those that are not familiar.
And then I had just turned 16, so for like a late birthday present, for when all the grandkids turn 16, my grandma flies them out to Texas for 2 weeks, you know, spend some time, you know. And one of the things I wanted to do was go to the X Games so I could go watch COD, you know.
Yep.
And dude, we had booked this trip months in advance, you know. 2-3 weeks before we have to leave, we're going back to Anaheim. I was like, I lost full. I was like, of all and of like,
Dude,
I didn't care they were going somewhere else, but it just happened
like literally when you're not gonna be there.
Yeah, I live here. I live here. The time I'm not gonna be here is when they're here. I was like, I was losing.
Dude, COD timing hit in real life.
But I look back on it, and I'm like, well, technically at the time, I think I was like I was under 16, and at the time you couldn't go to events under 16
without yeah.
And I didn't think someone was gonna be with me all 3 days anyway. So
yeah. So I mean, it works out. Like, and you've been to some events since. So
I've been to like 8, I think now.
So I've still only been to 3, and this is all sorts of events, right? I've only been to 3 events. I really want to go to PAX West. It'd be like, I think it's like a 13-hour drive north, which wouldn't be terrible. I've done long drives like that literally my whole life. Like we moved up here in 2004, but most of my family's in Southern California. So most of my life growing up, we've drove back down, which is about an 8.5, 9-hour drive. I've done that 4 times a year for like probably 10 years.
I can't remember when I moved here, but I've pretty much, as far as I can remember here. I mean, I have one memory of Texas when I was a kid. One,
yeah. So
it's the weirdest one too. Just very simple.
So earlier, you said that, all the kids were talking about Call of Duty, and you started research on your own, so you wouldn't be left out. And I said I have a similar story. So here is that story. I'm playing youth football. The year is 2007, And I remember like all the hot shot kids on the team, like the athletes, right? And these are like actual athletes. Like they went on, yeah, like kind of the jocks. And granted, this is youth football, but and these were real athletes. Like one of them ended up going and playing. A couple of them actually were playing some D2 college, and one of their older brothers was played for UC Davis. So they were actual athletes, but at the same time, this is youth. But they're all talking about like what I didn't know at the time, but what happened to be the 2007 Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare trailer had just come out, and everyone's hyped about it, right? And I'm like, I mean, I'm a nerd. Like, I play video games. Well, I know about this shit. And at the time, the shooter that I was really into was Rainbow Six Vegas 2, which is a legendary shooting game. Actually ran on the MLG Pro circuit for a hot minute. And I didn't really go and do like any research on my own to be like, oh, what's this Call of Duty thing? But the funny part is like fast forward a couple years, Modern Warfare 2 comes out. I'd played Call of Duty before Modern Warfare 2. I played Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 on the PS2 way back. I rented it for like a week from Blockbuster or whatever. I actually wrote an essay in 3rd grade about the Liberator mission. It was like something that was like, tell us about your weekend. I was like, well, I played this game called Call of Duty, and there was this mission on a plane. Staple memory in here is writing about the Big Red 1 Liberator mission. Super fun. Don't touch Call of Duty again until Modern Warfare 2. And the only reason I find out about it, one of my best friend at the time, we're playing a lot of Rainbow Six Vegas 2, super into it, and then Modern Warfare 2 comes out. And he picked that game up. I want to say he probably got it for like Christmas. And we had all just got Xbox Live for like the first time the year prior. No, not even the year prior.
I think that's how everyone discovers Call of Duty and stuff like that is Christmas.
I think it was like that, like 2009, Christmas 2009. I think we all got Xbox Live together, and we hopped on GTA 4. It's like the first game we played online, and like within like a couple weeks of that, he gets Modern Warfare 2, and he's playing it online from some of our football team and stuff. And he tells me, obviously, like his best friend, he's like, dude, you got to check out this game. Like, it's kind of like Rainbow Six. Basically, like it's an FPS game is like the only similarity. He's like, there's these things called kill streaks where like if you kill 3 people, you get like this UAV, like just it rewards you for doing well. And I'm like, damn, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, like I'll have to check this out. So I pick it up, instant addiction forms, like bad. And sometime that January is when I first stumbled across Optic, because we had our football team, but then some of our other friends were big into sniping and had been into sniping since like COD 4.
Sniping team.
I am a sniper at heart. Before all things competitive, I'm a sniper. And I'll mention that in a moment. Because earlier I said that we would talk about play styles a little bit. But I am a sniper at heart. The first Optic content I ever watched was sniping. Shout out to Optic D-Treats. I don't think he was the first sniper I watched, but he will always be, in my opinion, the greatest sniper to ever grace Optic gaming. If you're not familiar with him, the dude was nasty. Sup puppies doggy here. He's actually a pro PUBG player now. So I first got introduced to Optic in what would have been around mid to late January 2010. And my addiction to Modern Warfare 2 and Optic content has, to this day, probably never been that high. Content-wise, my addiction was probably higher during not the Scuff House, but the 6050 house. I was watching everything. I was watching Nadeshot and Scum streams daily, Nadeshot and Scum videos daily. Like, it was bad.
I did watch 6050, but I would say I was probably a more active viewer during 1, 2, 3, 5.
Okay.
If I'm being honest.
See, I was slightly less active at 1235.
Because like, man, like you smooth competition, all those things.
We're gonna talk about that too. So yeah, early 2010. I'm addicted to sniping. everyone in quick scoping, I would literally go into Rust or Scrapyard private matches by myself for like hours after everyone had got off for the night. And I would throw C4 on walls or plant claymores and back up and quick scope them to like practice centering and like hitting small targets. I'd like go across the map and be like, okay, how many tries will it take me to quick scope the C4 on the wall from across the map?
I always sucked at sniping.
I do think that in my peak grind and sniping skill, where skill was at an all-time high and where my grind was still at an all-time high, and I was doing these private match like C4, not C4 shots, but like practicing on fucking small targets, I do think I probably could have been like a top tier sniper. Like I think skill wise, I had it. But also like I put 60 days into Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer. On one account, I had 3 accounts. Between all 3 accounts, I'm pushing about 2,000 hours in multiplayer in that game.
Doesn't it like blow your mind to think about like 60 days? That like
you want to know what that math adds up to? 2,000 hours.
It's just crazy
the ball drops. Okay, it's New Year's. The ball drops. It's midnight. Okay, first day of the year. 24/7. You do not stop playing. You do not take a bathroom break. You are sitting at your screen playing until halfway through March. That was my Modern Warfare 2 time frame. I think it was actually closer to the end of March. I told that to my art teacher senior year in high school. And he did not own a TV at the time. It blew his fucking mind that I was spending that much time sitting there playing video games.
You own a TV or watch TV.
Yeah. He was a cool guy. So yeah, I specifically remember Easter break 2010. This is how I know when I'm addicted to a video game. Okay, it's when my body wakes me up to play. And it's only ever happened twice. And the first time was Modern Warfare 2, Easter break, no school, no obligations, nothing. Most people enjoy sleep. I personally hate sleeping. I was playing until about 6 or 6:30 in the morning every night. And my body, with no alarm clock or anything, was so addicted that it was waking me up at 8 in the morning to play. I was getting like an hour and a half to 2.5 hours of sleep for that whole break. It was bad.
I love sleep now because of all the sleep I lost back then.
I appreciate sleep more now. I still don't like it. I wish that I could go back to 2 hours of sleep. In high school, I had looked into sleep cycles that allowed you to get 2 to 4 hours of sleep a day, but still operate at optimal level.
Like, dude, Black Ops 2 brought me to the point where I'm falling asleep in my chair.
Yeah.
Not like, and I don't mean like falling asleep, like waking up, going to bed. I mean like straight up like.
You woke up and then got ready for school out of your chair.
And dude, I've even done it to the point where I'm like sleep, full night sleep, wake up, immediately play again.
Yeah, I've done that on Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, in a bit of Ghost, not quite as much in Ghost. Yeah, I've fallen asleep mid match and like woken up during the same game. Like I'll take like a 2-minute nap during the match and then wake up and be like, oh shit, dude, we're losing. I got to step it up. I've been AFK for 2 minutes. And like that was to me always like a sign of like, all right, I should probably call it a night.
Hold on. Come back later.
Them pancakes ready? You want to run and grab them real quick? Okay. So yeah, that was the grind at an all-time high. Been watching Optic for a long time, and it's to the point where I think most Optic fans at this point got introduced around Black Ops 3. And it's weird for me because I'm feeling a little old. And one of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast was I think I am becoming a very small minority group within the Green Wall that have actually been around this long. And I love it.
I actually would argue I feel like I feel like Optic's following kind of started growing majorly during Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
I mean,
disagree. Like, I mean, it's
I could
around the time.
definitely.
I mean, we're only talking a 1 year time
Well,
frame
I
out
mean,
of an
in
11-year
reality,
story.
if you look at it year by year, each year they grew more
Yeah,
and more. So
but I
you know,
think like a lot of people I talk to, and I'm like, hey, like when did you first get into Optic? Like I've asked people before, obviously not on the show, but a lot of people say around that Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare. There's a larger amount of people that got around during Black Ops 2 than Modern Warfare 2, but I feel like the Modern Warfare 2 fan base, the what I like to refer to as the OGs, and obviously there's some people that outdate me. There's some people that have been around
like you feel like the fan base is
since the
becoming so
2007.
big.
Yeah, it's becoming so big that like the amount of people that have actually been watching for this whole thing, and I kind of part of me doesn't count 2007 to 2010 because even though the grind was there and Optic was there, the content didn't really start hitting until Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, I feel like I'm at a weird place. Like I feel like an Optic historian. That's what I identify as in today's day and age of Optic fans.
See, and see, it's weird for me because people look at me and think like I'm the biggest Optic fan, and not realize like, man, you think I am, but like I haven't been around that long.
Well,
In
that's one
reality,
of the reasons I wanted to have you on as the first
like there's
guest
people
is
like you who
because
like are a historian and know all that shit, and it's
well,
like I don't know
well,
that.
that's why I wanted to have you on because I know that I didn't know it, but based on your passion, and just different stuff like going to events and whatnot, like I don't know, like whatever vibe you were giving off, I was like, I feel like this guy's got to go back pretty far. Maybe as far as I am, maybe further, but like I figure, and you kind of do. You go. I mean, Black Ops 2
I mean,
is
for the game Black Ops 2, yeah.
well, I guess
I mean,
Optic was more Ghosts Advanced Warfare, I guess.
I mean now at this point it seems kind of far,
Yeah,
But I mean, like back when I first
and
started
there's a lot
getting
of
recognized,
people that are new from the Huntsman. They're part
true.
of the Green Wall. They got introduced through the Huntsman, and I'm like, oh, you
And
little
there are some
babies.
people.
I mean, I love it. I appreciate you joining the Green Wall. I will never turn someone away.
Don't forget the LA Optic fans who probably
And we're gonna
also.
talk about that. That's a question. All right, we're gonna speed things up a little bit. We've been recording. We've officially started the show probably about 50 minutes. Nah, not quite an hour. Like
My
40,
bad, man.
45
I'm
minutes. I'm a
I'm
dude. No,
yapping.
I'm a rambler. That's why I'm starting a podcast. I need to turn the rambling into content. Let me bring up the list of questions here. Go over what we've already gone over. So we've talked at this point a little bit about your background. Not necessarily like your whole background, but more so your background with Optic. Here's a really good question. In your opinion, and I think most people are going to have the same answer to this, but I like having these one-on-ones. And also, if I ever see you at an event, like I'm going to have a lot of context now to your Green Wall history.
Oh yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
super cool. Like I like meeting people. I like going to events. I miss them really bad. But in your opinion, like what separates Optic? Like what makes Optic special? You could have followed any clan. FaZe is another huge name. They've been around for the largest name in esports, largest following in esports. 100 Thieves obviously really big. Envy has never really been as big on the content side, but competitive wise, Envy has been around for a long time. Like, what makes Optic different to you? Like, why did you find yourself kind of gravitating toward that brand versus another one?
Well, I mean, it's also I mean, it's not like I saw all of them and be like, yeah, they seem the coolest. I chose. It's more of like kind of who I got introduced to first. Like Optic just happened to be the team I was introduced to first. Before FaZe and
Mm-hmm.
any of them. But I think what makes them so special is like how like because some teams are just teams, and like
Yeah.
they're straight business sports done deal, with Optic, and Fizz, the reason why, and 100 Thieves, the reason why those three are just so special. I mean, I guess Envy, Dallas Empire, I mean, a lot of teams now.
A lot of teams now, but yeah.
Yeah, but like with Optic specifically, because they've been doing it the longest. The content, and the way like they interact with their fans. Not even just through social media, but just like when at events, it just like even if it's something little, with like Hector coming out on stage and like giving a little speech, or like them doing a little meet and greet. Like I don't like they did this at the last champs. They did this huge group picture with all the fan. With I don't know if you're in it. I was not in it because
look on Hex's right hand.
So you are in it. But yeah, like example.
That's my favorite fucking. That's my favorite picture that I have.
Things like that, like they truly like interact with their fans and whatnot.
So speaking on that moment, if you were at Champs 2019, obviously, the moment that Optic lost the match and they were up top, where everyone kind of met for that picture, right? Before everyone had gone up the stairs, before like the crowd had gone up and followed them, Optic was just up there by themselves. And then word got out that, hey, Optic's up by the pro shop or whatever. If you happened to be going up the stairs at that time and you heard some random people chanting "Ibambe," yeah, my.
I mean, now you said it, and I'm okay. I hear that now clearly in my head. I just remember hearing that everywhere now.
Tony and I were we were kind of like at the front of the pack. There was like two people ahead of us. Obviously, Endgame had come out earlier that year, and
yeah, that's where I know it from.
And so we're marching up the stairs, and there's like a huge group of people, right, marching up the stairs. Like no one cares about the final match at this point. We're all here for Optic, at least like the Green Wall fan bases.
Yeah.
And Tony and I just start chanting Ibambe, and someone we can hear it behind us. Someone's like, "Who the hell started chanting Ibambe?" I was like, shit, my bad.
I think another thing that makes Optic so special is because behind the scenes, we know for a fact it ain't some fucking bullshit dudes in fucking suits and
it's
ties.
Not suits. It's not suits.
Like we know for a fact behind the scenes, it's legit fucking Hector. It's legit scum. It's
I think it's funny when you look at Hector's story of growing up and wanting and thinking that suits symbolize success, and they do symbolically. And then working a suit job, getting out of it, and like.
By the way, no disrespect to people who wear suits and ties.
No, to each their own. Like if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be the best lawyer or practice law, like by all means, go do it. If you want to be an attorney or whatever, like. But I think it's funny that he did that and then he broke out of it and like now he has real success. Yeah, not financially, but like
that's another reason why I fucked with Optic so hard. Is because I knew like it wasn't some like because like Hector can be the there's a lot of people who are owners, but they just own. They don't actually.
They're just the money.
Like I fucked with Optic so much because Hector was an owner who actually did shit. He fucking made decisions that he liked, and he also made decisions that were just super hard to make.
Yeah,
like he was like. He was an owner. He was literally kind of everything at once.
Well, it's like outside manager, of, and he talks about this all the time, right? Like outside of pro rosters, where it's like he tries to have as little say as possible. Outside of pro rosters, like and I think something too. I think so. For me, the thing that separates Optic is Optic, and this is shown through the course of their content, pretty much always. I think there's been some hiccups there, but early on, Optic was a family. Like they were a very tight-knit family, and they sold that to you on screen in the same way that the early Fast and Furious movies sold you on like Salute Mi Familia, right? Or Salute Mi Familia. Like that showed in their content so much early on, and they've just continued to do that over the years. And on top of that, like Hex is a real one. Like if you've been in Optic before, like There is almost no joining Optic, leaving Optic, and Hex doesn't have your back anymore. It's like, no, if you spent any time at all in Optic
or a week,
like basically, like, as soon as you're part of that, you're part of it.
And another thing I love, like,
in the fan base, I think the green wall is different.
Yeah, they're very straightforward with us too. You know.
Yeah, as long as they can be.
Yeah, they don't like whenever they can, you know, like most like whenever they can, they don't put out bullshit like statements and whatnot. Like, you know, whenever Hector has a chance, he'll sit down in front of camera and talk to us straight up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like here's the deal, here's what happened, you know, like he'll just be straight up about it, you know. And
well, it's like, you know, when
I respect that.
You know, when they were doing roster changes in 2013, during Black Ops 2, like when they dropped Merc. Like Hex, I believe, if I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Hex came on camera, and talked about that. When they dropped their sniping team, I made an Optic tribute video after the last champs, and once we were rolling into the league and it was no longer Optic Gaming but Optic Gaming Los Angeles, I made a tribute video for, you know, the real Optic, Hector's Optic, and in there is a clip of Hex dropping the sniper team. Like they've always kept it real. And I think that's really, and I know, if no diss or shade to FaZe, I do like FaZe, especially some of the original FaZe guys. I have a lot of respect for Temper.
That FaZe jacket right there.
The only merch I own that's non-Optic is two 100 Thieves jerseys.
But see, that's the point I'm trying to make, though. It's like with the
I'm
FaZe
really
guys,
weird when it comes to merch.
They're owners, you know. They just own, you know. It's just like when's the last time you've seen like Banks or Temper or
something that FaZe has done a great job of, and it's obviously worked well for them. And hats off to them for doing it. I think somebody needed to do it, and I'm actually happy Optic didn't do it. Yeah. And that is stepping out of gaming and becoming more of a lifestyle brand and signing people like Bronny James, right? And more celebrities, like in cross contaminating that culture. Like, someone had to do it. FaZe did a phenomenal job doing it. And if you're a FaZe fan and you've been following for as long as I've been following Optic, you probably feel the way towards FaZe the way I feel towards Optic. But I'm glad Optic kind of stuck more to its core and to its roots of Call of Duty.
See, like,
or gaming, I should say, because they have branched out and hit other esports.
I look at FaZe for lifestyle. I like 100 Thieves for like clothing and stuff. I look at Optic for like the core. You know, like
and for me,
OG,
that's,
you know?
I'm very, like, I don't know, anything like sticks true to its roots for some reason. I don't even know why. Like, I can't even think of like any like childhood upbringing type stuff as to why this would resonate so well. But like, if you stick to your core, I respect the shit out of it. Like, you're my favorite.
Like, dude, Hector bought Optic back. You know?
So
like,
yeah.
Understand how crazy that, you know, and like.
Oh, I was telling my buddy about this because like he hasn't been following it a ton. I was like, I gave him the rundown, like a quick, like, he built this, he sold this happened, he bought it back.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar. It's not like he just fucking turned around and pulled out $5. Like, hey, can my fucking?
Hey, yo, can I have?
No, it's like no. This took a lot of work.
He had to pull
man.
some strings.
In a year too. In a year, by the way.
Like,
you know? Like, name me like so, in sports history, what team has sold their team and got it back?
Yeah.
Like,
so.
What?
So on that, actually, it's kind of like leads into the next question, which is like, what did you do? Obviously, I for the most part know this, and I think most people that know about you and follow you probably also know this. And most real fans probably did this as well. But like, what did you do during that kind of shift of power? Like when he first sold to Infinite Esports and Entertainment in, I believe it was like halfway through 2017. And then Infinite Esports and Entertainment sold to Immortals, and then Immortals invested in, got the CDL spot. Like, what did you do kind of between the 2017 initial sell-off and Optic Gaming Los Angeles, and then from Optic Gaming Los Angeles until now?
Well, from the very, very beginning, I originally thought it'd be a good idea, because all
Yeah.
right, yeah, I understand
More
Hector's
money
standpoint,
and
more money. Plus, he doesn't want to,
take a little step back, like
yeah, he wants
be
to just
be a dad, like
he wants to be exactly what I kind of said earlier. He wants to just be an owner and just own. He doesn't want to, and
yeah,
like at that point, he'd been doing it for very long, and I understood, like all right, he
yeah.
wants a break. He wants other people to do that job for him, and he
Agreed.
wants to just focus on with his boys, and do what
I
they
thought
do.
it was a really good move. I was
like
excited for it.
I understood. And I thought it'd be a good move, and it's like it wasn't his fault that those people decided to screw him over.
Yeah, and
It's
you
like,
never know how those meetings went. They could have promised.
Exactly, because like
they could have talked the talk.
Yeah, people will talk,
and
talk,
this is great.
Walk,
yeah,
walk.
let's do it. And then as soon as they get ownership, just like, all right, let's fucking do what we really wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which obviously ended up kind of happening.
So I thought it was a good idea. I think so did everyone, including Hector.
Yeah.
And then obviously things start going wrong for the Optic brand in general. Like CS:GO falls apart, Gears falls apart, Halo falls apart, Call of Duty
content
pretty much
changes,
damn near fell apart. Content, people were just depressed. Hitch got fucking moved to like a cubicle or something, I think, if I remember correctly.
Freaking Aaron.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
Aaron got the boot.
Like just a lot of dumb shit.
Shout out to Aaron and Create Supply. We'll talk about them probably a little bit towards the end. If at all, I don't know if I'll mention them during. I want to keep this pretty Optic focused.
Like basically a bunch of suit and tie shit.
Yeah.
Stuff happened. It's kind of like, all right, what the fuck, like this.
So
is
vibes are off.
This is not what we signed up for. This is not what we agreed upon. And by we, I mean like to the investors.
Obviously, like the people in the know.
Yeah.
So what did you do then during the first season of CDL?
Well, I didn't support Optic Gaming Los Angeles, to obvious reasons, Like, I wasn't gonna be the type of person to go on Twitter and be like, fuck them, and fuck Slasher.
Fuck Jay.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna be that.
I say it, but I do have... I still respect a lot. I do respect Jay for what he did.
But if I did see some head-ass shit, I would respond to it. I will say that.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, But, like, I didn't support LA Optic, but I didn't hate him either. But, like, I always did like the fact that whenever we played him, we beat him. I always get that extra good feeling,
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, like, whenever I saw the logo, I was just I'm being honest, I'd be disgusted, I'd just be like, damn, I can't really look at that. And, I look at all the stuff in my closet and just be like, I can't even think about wearing it. I would put something on and just be like, it wouldn't feel right,
So, I mean, I did the same thing. Like, and we can talk about like the Huntsman a little bit. Obviously, like I said, I know this, and I'm sure most people that follow you know that you just swung from being an Optic fan to being a Huntsman fan. Huntsman became the new Optic in a sense.
Well, see, I'm not a fan of the team.
Really. I did have a prediction that I told a lot of people at Champs. Told a lot of people this. I predicted that Hex would leave Optic and hook up with Gary V and help run the Minnesota Rocker. That was my prediction. And I was like, they've met in the past.
Kind of on the right track there.
They've met in the past. They obviously see pretty eye to eye. And I think Gary would, I'm a big Gary V fan too. I think that Gary would have respected Hex's pretty much everything and like given him full control and then just kind of helped on the business side of things more.
Yeah, that might have been an option.
Yeah, so like now I'm glad he didn't because I'm glad the competition is there now.
There was also an option where he was going to work with Astro. I think there was an option he was going to work with FaZe.
There was supposed to be there. He talked about it in something where. Oh, it was when they were first investing in the team. Yeah, like they were talking about like what if they just Astro, FaZe, and Optic like all went all in and did like a mega team.
Mega team, like
yeah. There was kind of talks of it. They talked. I don't remember
like scump
what it was they
shit
talked about it in.
play.
But they would have had the only problem, and I don't know if this is why they didn't do it, but there wouldn't be fans of anybody else. They would literally have 95% of the fan base. Like, it's already pretty much like Optic, LA Thieves, FaZe, and Dallas. But like all the other brands have solid followings.
That Optic Juice does something, man. You know,
the Optic Juice. He fucking said it, ladies and gentlemen. We have not heard the term Optic Juice in like 4 or 5 years.
And I say that because, like, if you and like, dude.
Oh man.
This might be controversial, you know, and I'm just saying this in a very honest opinion. You know, like 100 Thieves, for example. You know, look at the big. You know, look at the.
They don't have the juice.
You know, but like,
I don't think any org has the same. Bro, it was okay back in Ghost when you were first starting getting. Bro, do you remember like when, like, I think it was when Clay joined. Literally in a day, he gained like 20,000 followers or something. The first day that he was on Optic. When
you join Optic, like, just
you're part of the family.
That does something. Like from that point
it's crazy.
On, from whenever you join Optic into the future, like you're good. You're.
And it's weird, right? Okay, so like on that, it's weird because like if you have played for Optic Gaming ever, I like you. I'm a fan of you. With the exception of Haggy. Parasite, I met him at Anaheim 2013 and he was a total douche. I respect his play style a lot, and I hope that he actually makes true to some of the tweets he says where he wants to be better and stuff. And if he does, I will respect him. But I just didn't.
No one surprisingly has been a dick to me. No, even knowing.
So he wasn't a dick to me. I just asked him. Now this was, you know, Complexity won the Anaheim event, and this was right after they came off of champs. Farico had just lost champs, but they had just come off of a real hot streak. And I asked him, I was like, hey, so what do you think of the upcoming Optic match? Right. And I'm 17 at this time, 16 at this time.
How old Tacky? You gotta remember, you know, he maybe. What
maybe this is Anaheim 2013.
Okay, so yeah.
So he's younger.
Yeah. So
he had just got.
Haggy, this is in the era when, you know.
This is like pre-Choo Choo Train era.
Yeah.
But like same mentality.
Plus, they're all young themselves.
Yeah. And so I asked him, I was like, hey, what do you think of the upcoming Optic match? And I don't remember his exact response, but he was like, dude, Optic fucking sucks. We're going to wipe the floor with him. And I was like...
I'll be honest, he'd probably say that today.
And I was like, dude, that's no way to talk to a viewer. Like, imagine you walk up to LeBron, right? And you're like...
Formal said it about Legion on the podcast recently.
But like, but at the time...
If we win the fight, we're going to fucking smoke him, you know?
But,
damn.
But in context, like if Haggy said that now, I wouldn't care. But this was still like, this was the birth. This was Black Ops 2. This is when Call of Duty got permanently put on the map. Black Ops 1 put Call of Duty on the map for esports. Black Ops 2 solidified their placement. So it's like, now you say that, it's fine. It's been around long enough. Everyone involved has, it's like, I think it was Formal also said, like, if you get mad about people talking shit, like, dude, we've all known each other for so long now. Like, you should know that we're mostly joking.
It's just a sports mentality. It's just a competitive mentality.
But at the time,
it's not personal. It's just.
And we were both younger, but still, it just left like the worst taste in my mouth.
Dude, Tom Brady's 43. But
going
fucking shut the field on the Super Bowl.
But going back to it, like outside of Haggy, which I'm mostly neutral on at this point. 2 years ago, I was still negative, but over the years, we've swung back towards neutral. Even I'm even neutral, leaning positive on Aches, and that aches.
I mean, Black Ops 3 champs will always be engraved in my mind,
dude. When freaking Express came back, okay, I was watching the Full Sail Invitational when they reverse swept Optic. Shame. Express S&D, mind you. But where were we? Optic, Hex. Optic is a family. If you've come through Optic, you're part of the family. All right. So you went on to become a Huntsman fan. I also did not wear any Optic merch. I actually put it at the back of my closet for the entire year.
I went in the back. I just put it in the closet.
I put it at the back. It wasn't the same, and something that, like, even now that Hex owns Optic again, I like bomber jackets. CDL, the CDL shop has the Optic Gaming Los Angeles bomber jacket, and it does not say Los Angeles anywhere on it. It just has an OG logo and says Optic Gaming.
In the CDL shop?
Yeah, like like last year's merch site.
Well, to be fair, Optic does have their own essential shop, and they also have.
I've got the bomber jacket, but if you go in, like last year's merch shop, go to the Optic Gaming team. It's like the third or fourth item down, the button up jacket or whatever.
I know which one you're talking about because
it doesn't say Los Angeles on it anywhere.
You're right.
I will not buy that jacket.
What do you mean you will not buy that?
I will not buy it. I will not buy anything that is an Optic Gaming Los Angeles merch, regardless of if it says Los Angeles on it. That's what I meant when I said I'm weird when it comes to merch. And I have a 100 Thieves 2019 jersey that I got at Anaheim. Sit in my closet. I never wear it. And I like other teams. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to grab a piece of merchandise to rep a team, it will never not be Optic. I barely wear my Huntsman stuff now that we have Optic back.
I'll get merchandise for the teams. Like, I have merchandise for FaZe and whatnot, but I'll only, I'll wear that in public, but, if I'm going
I won't.
If I go to an event, that will never.
If I had the only piece of merchandise non-Optic related that I would probably wear in public, if I had it, would be the red Geography hoodie, like the original Windbreaker one or whatever.
Only time.
Not the hoodie, the Geography Windbreaker. Sorry.
Only time I would wear another team's merch at an event is if, and I think this is only the one time. I think it was Anaheim. Optic had just lost, and I had just gotten 100 Thieves jersey, and 100 Thieves still in, and I
which
didn't
is
think
it makes sense. Like, if you were to go rep 100 Thieves, because 100 Thieves
I like 100 Thieves,
and because of Nadeshot and his tenure in Optic, exactly. I get it. And that's why I buy 100 Thieves stuff.
Like, when Optic was playing.
Oh, by the way, do you wear gaiters at all? Like, for masks?
Gator mask? No, I just wear a regular mask. But I mean, I'll wear whatever,
I have 400 Thieves gaiters that I'm gonna give away at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought two. I bought two reds and two whites. The plan was the extra two, one of each, were for giveaways. I think I'm gonna give away all of them though, because they fall off my face. So a lot of merch that I buy, I go really ham. I'm in before this. We talked about the amount of debt I'm in.
Yeah, I can tell. I've seen your purchases.
I go pretty ham, but a lot of that is to build up giveaway inventory. I want to be able to give back at some point.
All right, yeah. Hey.
It's an investment that will not actually pay off, financially, but it's all good.
I mean, it'll make someone else's day.
Hey, you got a TST button up sitting somewhere in your closet.
It's not in my closet. It was in my laundry basket. That would be right there. I don't think you could see it.
No,
but it's currently in the washer.
It needs to be washed. Gotcha.
At the moment, it's being cleaned. So.
Gotcha. All right. So let's roll into the next question. Okay, so you went on to become a Huntsman fan, which I was thinking we could talk about that a little bit more, but I think it kind of speaks itself. We were all there for Optic has gotten so big that we are there for the people, not the name Optic.
By the way, real quick, not to cut you off, but I can probably talk for at most another 12 minutes because I got work at 2.
Okay. That's right. Was it 1 o'clock? Gotcha.
It's 1.
All right, we'll wrap this up real quick. We'll just do a rapid fire session. Who is your favorite current member of Optic? Member doesn't have to be a pro player, just anyone. And who is your favorite all-time member?
I mean, both answers are gonna be Scump.
All right.
I mean,
Valid.
Just because he's, that's the guy I started watching when I first got an Optic, and all time, and plus he's still there, and all time because he's still there.
Yeah.
The same
answer. So for me, all time is Big Timer. My senior pictures from high school were inspired and modeled after Big Timer. I'll put those up on screen for anyone that's watching over on YouTube. If you're listening on various platforms, go to YouTube if you want to see my senior pictures, or I've posted them multiple times on social media. My favorite current member of Optic is still Big Timer, and also Karma. Those are my two all-time favorite players or favorite members of Optic, are Karma and Big Timer, and I can throw Karma back into my current slot considering he just got picked back up.
Well, if I'm being honest, like I would say Hector and Scump are tied.
Yeah. Hex, really I almost don't count Hex.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, like because without him, it's like it doesn't even exist.
True.
It's like it's like if I'm ranking like Marvel movies, I can't say if Infinity Wars is like the best movie. Like the Avengers movies, I feel like are freebies. Like they're team up movies. They're too big.
Yeah, of course they're gonna be the best ones, because it's like it's everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Hector's gonna be the most because he's yeah. So I get
So I have on here a question, which is like, why are you so loyal to the Green Wall? Or like, what is it about the Green Wall that makes you so loyal? But I think that everything we've talked about thus far kind of sums it up.
Okay, but to answer that question, what makes me so loyal to the Green Wall is because of how loyal the Green Wall is.
Yeah. Like I said, like everything we've talked about, and like part of the reason I want to do this podcast is because each and every member of the Green Wall is playing a specific role in that fan base.
Like from the Green Wall to the team, it's like from Green
it's
Wall
bigger to each other. Yeah. Hence the name Brick by Brick.
Yeah, well, it's like you doing something simple as like buying me a shirt, Thank you again.
Yeah, like it's like little stuff like that. Like I agree. If you could be involved in Optic in any way, shape, or form, what would you like to do? For me, I think if they brought back the sniping team, I'd maybe want to be a part of that. But I think at heart, based on my actual skills and what I think I could actually contribute, I think I would do the best being kind of behind the scenes guy like Hitch, a cameraman.
If I had to choose, because I'm not good at something specific, but I think I have a good personality, truly, I
think you'd be pretty good on camera.
Yeah, I think I'd be a good camera guy, especially if we're like doing activities and shit, like.
Gotcha.
I'm a person who loves to have fun,
Yeah. See, I think I could do it on screen. I do really enjoy being a camera guy though. Like one of the number one reasons I miss events is because I want to be able to shoot more event footage to kind of build a portfolio, to be able to present people with like, work that I've done. A couple more questions. This is a top 3 or top 5. We can leave it as a top 3 if we want to be quicker about it. But your favorite Optic moments, and these can be in-game moments, right? Like winning 2017 champs. I watched that. I was not at 2017 champs. That's a top 3 moment of me.
I was at a friend's house watching it, and then they lost to Envy in winners finals, and I got so upset. I was like, "Dude, I gotta go home. I can't deal with this right now." So
then they brought it back.
The entire ride home, I didn't watch anything, and I got home, looked on the phone. They beat LG 3-0. They're already back in grand finals. I was like, "Yes, all right, let's go. We're back."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay."
So that's a top 3 moment of mine that I was not. I watched it. I wasn't there.
That's automatic top, just number 1 because it's the world championship.
My number 1 is that picture we mentioned earlier at the end of Champs 2019 because I'm right next to Hector. I'm literally right next to him. So that's another one of my top 3. And I don't know what.
All right.
Probably the first time I met Hex.
So my top. Okay, well, in Optic, not me personally. So this is kind of a different story. Well, Champs 2017, Vegas Black Ops 4, because that's when they like kind of came like
Ooh,
not came
UMG
back.
Chicago 2012 10K tournament. That was like the
That
first pro match I watched and got hooked on competitive.
that's too. Man, I don't know. I've never. It's weird because it's like I don't think about things like that, and it's like I'm not asked questions like that, you know. But those two are at the top of
Yeah,
mind. Just
yeah.
World Champion
I always
and then
struggle to come up with like that final placement, like that third or like that
yeah,
fifth.
it's always the
There's a
finalists.
lot. There's a lot of toss ups.
Like definitely Vegas for you because like that's the first time
Vegas and
I ever
champs.
Optic win like oh and no number three seeing Optic win the Halo World Championship live because I was there.
Okay. All right,
That'd be
dude. I'll take it. I'll take a
that'd be
Halo
amazing.
event. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
I've
All
actually
right.
been to two Halo events and
That's a
World
solid
Championship.
list. That's a solid list, especially you have a live one in there, which I think always helps. I don't think you
There's
can.
a
I
lot
don't think you
there's
can
a lot
have like a non-live moment.
yeah.
So just to wrap things up, last couple of things I want to mention real quick. Do you have a favorite series that Optic has done?
Vision.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's going to be when I ask that to people. I think that's going to be everyone's.
Competition it is a close one, but I like Vision just because it's like it's storytelling. You know, it's like
I
a lot of work.
agree. I think Vision because it's storytelling. It's like
Or
everything
I guess
about it.
the process. I guess that's the new Vision.
Well,
I guess I'm not sure.
yeah. So I like that. And then I think a runner up is actually going to be throwing it way, way back to Hex's top
Oh,
5 kill cams of the week. Sniper's Nest.
another. Hey, I don't know if this is Optic. This might just be Hector's. You know, but underrated Optic thing would be Hector's Mexican.
Mexicandy.
Yeah, Mexican.
Mexicandy's a top 3 of mine. I
That's hella
actually got
underrated.
Mexican candy for Christmas. Someone got me a big bag. And I was like, dude, Tony and I should record some Mexicandy episodes.
Like, dude, I want to see I want to see like
Bro,
Mexican
I
with like
think about Mexican candy and my fucking mouth starts pouring. Like, oh
dude,
man.
it's because it's not because like American candy, it's like sweet
No, dude, the
sugar.
tagine
Mexican candy is kind of like it's like I can't explain it, you know, but it's
is
like
so
spicy, you know,
good.
like
It's
so
got
good.
the tahini, the chili lime. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, we're gonna finish this up kind of hot one style. One, what do you do? Do you do anything content wise? I actually don't know this. I don't know if you stream or anything. So
Yeah,
just tell us basically what you do, what you would like to do, things that you are working on, and then at the end also, give yourself the hot ones moment, shout out, tell people what's going on in your life type thing, tell people your Twitter, et cetera, where to find you, where to follow you.
Well, as far as like esports and stuff and whatnot, I actually don't really do anything. At the moment, I'm just a viewer and a fan like everybody else, and mainly it's because like COVID, you know, it's kind of like
Yeah,
nothing's really going on, and it's kind of like for me, I don't really want to pursue anything that I don't know when I can get into, you know. So I rather just like, as of right now, I just have a little part-time job and just kind of saving up money, you know,
working
just
and a
yeah,
passionate fan of the green
yeah,
wall.
just doing regular life stuff while trying to support the green wall. Um, I used to stream a lot, you know. I don't really stream anymore. I mean, I can stream. I probably should stream, you know, if I, you know, I say I would be good on camera, but I just choose not to, you know, because all I gotta do is just
I
click
think
the
I
button.
think we're to a point where streaming is overrated and oversaturated, and there needs to be a big shift towards content. I'm redoing my schedule. I'm only going to stream 2 days a week and spend the other 5 days producing content like this. This is going to go up every Sunday.
Another reason why I kind of just don't stream because it's like I kind of always tell myself it's like, man, like I know I can just turn it on, you know, but it's like
Yeah,
so can anyone else, you know. It's
but they're not.
you know,
Uh,
true. It's just like what about me makes me like unique that I can turn on and like
yeah,
somehow be
I
different than somebody else,
I
you know.
struggle with that. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a normal person. There's not really anything that sets me apart. again, I think the only thing Call of Duty wise that sets me apart now is being an elder member of the Green Wall.
That's the
Where
only
can
thing I'm not liking is getting older. Because I remember being the young gun and now I'm
oh
20 years old.
yeah, I'm
I know a lot
noticing
of
it. I'm not quite as cracked as I once was. I'm also not spending. I don't have the time to play 8 hours a day like I used to. I play like 2 to 4 hours a night at most. I haven't played Call of Duty in 3 nights.
I mean, plus
Might
like when
you know say you a match or two, but
like when you get older, you know, you just play COD long enough, you know, that goes for the pros too, because that's their life. You just kind of get burnt out, you know.
I for the last 3 years I've been pretty burnt out on Call of Duty to be
Oh yeah,
specific.
same.
It's testing me. I always come back to it. It always drives me nuts, but we'll see. I'm trying to find other ways to be stay a part of it, which is why like events and being a camera guy would be cool.
Oh, esports helps me like that to me. That will never like I feel the same way about esports I feel back then. That will never change.
That for me will never change. If anything, it's gotten like stronger. Like my love for esports has gotten stronger.
Playing wise, like I can't play addictively. Like
yeah, I tell people. I used to tell people I think there was a point where I could have gone pro. I think I was that good. And now I think maybe top am. But I also think that during, like, based on the competition back then, I could have been pro at the time. I think I could have competed with big timers era, but the skill was overall lower back then.
I've always thought I've been better.
I think that the best I've ever been, competitive speaking, not sniping wise, but I think peak performance me could have be a high-end amateur player today. I do not think there's no chance I could compete professionally with the level of cracked out players we have now. The skill level has gone so high.
What COD do you think like is your COD, like the COD that you think like, man, like if this was the same COD, like I would be a pro.
Sniping wise, Modern Warfare 2 or 3. I was pretty nasty in both those. Overall skill wise and competitively, it's hard because I haven't played any of the recent CODs competitively because I haven't really had a team, but I'm going to go with probably Ghosts. Black Ops 2, I think I was too fresh. Advanced Warfare, Ghost or Advanced Warfare?
Black Ops 2,
I picked up Advanced Warfare's movement really, really well. I think that would have taken me a good distance.
Black Ops 2, I was fresh, like you, but by Advanced Warfare, I had played COD long enough to like know how to play and stuff, and like man, like I was this was
pretty saucy.
15, 24. I'm like 14, 13 years old at the time, 14, 15 years old, and man, like I'm getting lobbies and like I got people like 20 years old like commenting me like, damn, bro, we're getting carried by like 14, like.
Bro, what's the most kills you've dropped in a match? This is going to be my bragging moment. Anyone listening, I've talked about this a lot. This is like my greatest in-game accomplishment.
Dude, I'm not trying to sound like cocky or anything, but I've just had a lot of games where I've dropped like that amount of kills. Like I've dropped a lot of games I've gone like 80 plus, 90 plus. I don't think I've ever gone 100, you know.
So in Black Ops 2 during the diamond camo grind, I have a gameplay. It's still saved in my theater where I was playing Nuketown. I think it was hardcore. Not 100% if it was hardcore. But I was using the B23R, little Raffica. And I had a 93 kill gameplay with just that gun. I had an 80 plus kill gameplay with the Executioner. My greatest accomplishment though, Rust Demolition 4v4 Team Tactical in Modern Warfare 2. 200 kills, 23 deaths. My greatest in-game accomplishment. All right, where can people find you? Where can they follow you? What's your at? And we can close this bad boy out, and I'll let you get over to work.
Well, where can people find me? You can find me on pretty much anything. Twitter, Instagram, at TheMondo1177.
TheMondo. What were the numbers?
117, like Master
117.
Halo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You a Halo kid before COD?
It's weird. I'm backwards. I'm very backwards. Most people were Halo kids, then went to COD. You know.
I'm kind of backwards too. I was a COD kid, I've actually never really been a Halo kid.
People played Halo 2, 3, maybe 4, then switched to COD. I played COD, Black Ops 2, Ghost, whatnot. Played Halo 5 because that
See,
COD was not good.
Yeah, I've played a decent amount of ranked SWAT in Halo 5, but that's about it.
I think I played Halo 5 seriously for like 2, 3. Like, dude, I used to.
I was not Onyx. I wasn't Onyx. I was the right before that for ranked SWAT.
Platinum.
Yeah,
dude, I got the Onyx in ranked.
Yeah,
I got that in that.
I was just shy of Onyx in ranked SWAT, but only SWAT. I'm not good at many other game modes.
I got Onyx. That to me told me, like, dude, I'm like I was.
You're a top 1% player.
Like top AM.
Yeah,
and
Halo has a really good ranked system. So like when you reach Onyx, you actually know how good you are. COD, you could reach Master Division and you might still be a pub star.
If I'm being honest, like, okay, I may have been a good player when I was calm, and like
I used to be a rager. I've broken some stuff.
When I got mad, which would be often, I would play very ferocious and just try to rush at them because I just want to get kills and just be like.
I have a happy medium. I have a moment where my anger will make me play better, but as soon as I pass that, I play like shit. All right, so people know where to follow you. We're gonna wrap this up. I know you got to go to work. Thank you so much for coming on. Definitely appreciate it. This has been a longer episode than planned, but that's just what happens when you're. I don't have more time. No, dude, you're good. You're good. We got to wrap this up. I got to keep this somewhat watchable. Hopefully, people have been engaged the whole time. Thank you again, dude. What do you think? What do you think of the concept, real quick?
I think the concept's amazing, man. And now that I know what it is,
what it actually is, because when I pitched it to you,
I can think of so many people to like recommend you to.
If you know of anybody.
I know all 3 founders of the OG Hype Squad, like all 3 the OG original founders.
Really? See, I know I kind of know Bobby, but not like great.
There's technically a 4th guy named Tristan who was supposed to be at the event it formed, but he couldn't go. And the reason why he was and he's friends with the other founder named Ryan because they've grown up together. So and they're like those 2 are like my best friends now.
So this is how by the way, this is how I pitched it to him for those listening. Working on a new podcast series. Not sure when it'll launch, but definitely would be interested in having you on as a guest. This would be a separate podcast than the one I asked about you previously, because I have asked him to be on a separate podcast as well. Thinking about maybe having you on as the first guest or somewhere in the early episodes. That was it. That's all the context he had. I've actually given you less context than I've given the couple other people I've hit up. The other people I've hit up, I've told them it's a podcast about Optic and its fan base. That's it.
I'm also like not a hard person, Because people have asked me before like to do stuff. I'm like, yeah, man, no problem.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not.
But like,
and it's cool,
My pitch to you, I didn't realize it was like that much of a nothing. Because I've hit up a couple other people and I've said this is going to be a podcast regarding Optic and their fan base.
Said, like, hey, you want to come do my podcast? Like, no content. I'm like, yeah, sure. That's all.
I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping there's no issues with the name Brick by Brick. If anyone in Optic sees this, which I hope you do, I hope you're okay with me using that name. Trying to just contribute to the culture a little bit, give the Greenwall fan base a voice of their own, a platform to tell their story. Because I think a lot of people like myself have been following for a long time, but don't really have anywhere to share that outside of their close-knit friend group.
Plus, I feel this be a fantastic way for the people of Optic to truly get to know their fans, because it's like...
That's another thing.
These are the people,
if you've got an hour to sit and watch or listen to something, get to know one of your fans. Better than you would ever get to in a 2-minute segment that you run into them at an event.
Because I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but like you would think that
I didn't even think about that.
We sit here and we watch them interview their guests and like we're interested about their lives. You would think like, hey, maybe they're interested about us too, And they probably are.
I think some of them are, yeah. At least some of the mega fans and stuff. Thank you again, man. We're gonna wrap this up. We'll bring in some music. Shout out to LuvFromPluto for hooking it up with some intro and outro music. Check them out. Links are gonna be in the description for all things involved, music, Mondo, where you can listen to this podcast elsewhere. And if you are a member of the Green Wall, or if you're listening to this and you have a friend, or if you're like Mondo and you know some people that you think might be interested, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere at AstronautiCalM. That's AstroNauticalM. AstronautiCalM. On all social medias, hit me up, slide into the DMs. Let's work out a date and time. This is going to be released at first every other Sunday. I want to get it to a weekly thing, but I think scheduling guests every other week will be a little easier at first. It's going to be put out on Sundays because the Greenwall terminology was originally founded on a championship Sunday by who founded it? Who was it? Manga or whatever.
You're the fucking historian.
He is the so yeah, they talk about it in the Optic book. Hex has talked about it in multiple things. I'm pretty sure the 360 Icons Magna was the first one to coin the term green wall. So every Sunday we'll be having a episode of this come out every other Sunday at first, eventually every Sunday. And then later in the evening, we'll probably have some Optic matches to watch. So you can watch this before all the games get started. And let's hit them with outro music and have a good day at work, man.